This attractive gravel pass of 11.8 kilometers has a classic inverted profile of a pass that drops down into a river valley and rises up the other side. The river in question is the Umkomazi River, a small but powerful river that drains a sizable portion of the Drakensberg escarpment. The pass forms part of the long and winding Loteni Road that connects Nottingham Road in the northeast with Underberg and Heimville in the southwest. Despite being a gravel pass, the road engineering is sound and the gradients never exceed 1 in 10. The usual gravel road cautionaries apply of washboard corrugations, ruts, washaways, livestock on the road and loose gravel on the corners. The pass is named after the Bucklands farm over which it traverses, and it's worth noting that a small nature reserve is crossed on the southwestern side of the pass called the Vergelegen Nature Reserve. In fair weather, this pass can be driven in any car. From the northern start, the road descends rapidly into the south at a gradient of 1 in 10 via a soft S-curve, but at the 1.6 kilometer mark, there's an extremely sharp right-hand bend of 100 degrees. The turning angle is very tight and speed needs to be lowered to 30 kilometers per hour and even lower when the weather is wet. This bend also marks the entry of a built-up residential area as well as an intersecting road, which is the Stepmore Road. Keep right and remain on the main road and be aware of pedestrians and livestock on the road as well as slow-moving local vehicles. At the 2 kilometer mark, the road curves through another 100-degree left-hand bend, but this one has a wide and easy arc. With a heading now into the southwest, the road begins leveling off briefly, and at the 3 kilometer point, there's another very sharp right-hand bend of 90 degrees, followed within 200 meters by an equally sharp left-hand bend of 90 degrees. The village of Heimville, which lies to the southwest of the pass, is a small town located in the foothills of the picturesque southern Drakensberg. It's a landmark en route to the world-famous Sani Pass and the Ukashlamba Drakensberg UNESCO World Heritage Site. Heimville is the closest town to the Sani Pass, which links the town with Makotlong in Lesotho. Heimville was named in 1902 after the then Prime Minister of Natal, Sir Albert Henry Heim, a road engineer elected as Prime Minister of Natal in 1889. The town was first established as a police outpost and a branch of the Border Mounted Rifles in 1890, following a spate of gun running and cattle rustling in the area. The stone buildings which now comprise the Heimville Museum were built in 1896 to 1899 as the last of Natal's loopholed forts. It was converted to a prison in 1902 and continued housing prisoners until 1972. An open-air exhibition of settler and agricultural history is surrounded by many display rooms housing themed exhibits. The prison warder's house is decorated in the style of the early 20th century. Covering the Bulwer, Underberg and Heimville communities, it commemorates the way of life of the erstwhile inhabitants of the last frontier of Natal and has fairly extensive archives. The museum is one of the top rural museums in the country due to its wide range of exhibits. From fossils and Stone Age artifacts to a comprehensive display on the Bushmen, the early settlers, as well as African beadwork and artifacts. The display also covers the Anglo-Boer War and the 2 World Wars. There's an old post office and a schoolroom, wildlife display, and many farming implements and machinery, including a blacksmith's forge and a workshop. The museum is housed in the old stone fort or laager started in 1896 by the Border Mounted Rifles sent to police the area after the Le Fleur Rebellion of 1895. Completed in 1899, it was only used once on the strength of a rumour and no fighting ever took place nearby. It was taken over by the Natal Mounted Police after the Anglo-Boer War and turned into a prison by the addition of the Warder's House and Magistrates Court, along with a number of cells. Abandoned as a prison in 1972, it then became a museum in 1976 and was declared a national monument in 1981. The nearby Heimville Nature Reserve stretches along the eastern boundary of the Heimville village and was proclaimed to its present size of 104 hectares in 1973. There are a couple of species of antelope to be seen and birds are around the small dams. Be sure to watch part 2 of the Bucklands Pass.